In 1998, I left my homeland and I became one of those hundreds of thousands of people who leave their country each year with the hope of making a new home in Canada. This plane is probably carrying new immigrants, excited and nervous. Some may be well educated, some may even be medical doctors. I remember this sign, full of hope and promise. But my new life was not as easy as I thought it would be. I went from being an established journalist in Kurdistan to working at a convenience store. But now, years later, I am back doing what I love, supporting the voices that wouldn't otherwise be heard. Now, I want to tell the story of international medical doctors, or IMDs, for their struggle is great and untold.
My name is Michael.Lehmannt. I came from Pakistan and I was a family physician there. In Canada, I'm working as a security guard. I patrol every floor of the building and around the building, and usually I do this every hour, and then I sit down in front of the monitor. There are a lot of cameras in the building and I keep watching them, so when I see anything wrong, I go there right away. Tonight is from 4 p.m. till 8 a.m. morning.
You work 15 hours. Do you feel lonely? Do you miss your kids?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I feel lonely. I have no option.
So this is the only way you can support your family?
Yeah, right now it's the only way.
Pervez invited me back to his home where I met his wife, Rana, who is also a doctor, and their 2 daughters. How do you feel you can't work as a doctor here?
Naturally, I'm not feeling good. We tried to get into the system, but I didn't get actually any hope to get the residency. I think it's not a big deal to get through the exam, but to get the residency is really very, very tough here. Because it's a long queue and you have to wait years and years.
Immigrant medical doctors must repeat 2 years of residency in Canada, working under supervision in the medical system. I was shocked to discover that in my home province of British Columbia, there are only 18 of these residencies available each year to foreign-trained medical doctors, and the competition is fierce. With over 600 international doctors in BC alone competing for these spots, the odds of obtaining one of them are next to impossible. Right. How do you feel when you see your father doesn't work as a doctor?
I don't know, it's sort of embarrassing because he went from a doctor to a security guard, so I don't feel really good about it, but I can't do anything, so.
Does your family know that back home, I'm talking about your family back home, do they know that you are working as a security guard here?
Actually, I'm not sure. Actually, we don't want to tell them that I'm working here as a security guard because it's really embarrassing for me and for my family too.
So when the store owners here, they find out you are a doctor, what they feel?
When the people know that I'm a doctor, so they don't, it's strange because it's very common in Canada. There are many professional people doing this type of jobs.
Do you like your job as a security guard?
As a work, I like it, but naturally I'm not satisfied. I'm not feel good doing that because I can do better. I can do better. My knowledge and my experience is wasting.
I heard about these stories, but didn't think they were actually true. Qualified doctors willing and able to work. I wanted to learn more about the condition of our healthcare system in Canada. I decided to visit Dr. Clement Williams, who has been practicing medicine for the past 40 years.
The doctor shortage, first of all, it's horrific, and everybody knows it's coming, but people aren't doing anything about it yet. We have thousands and thousands of doctors who are in their 50s and early 60s who are going to be retiring soon, and they're my generation, and our generation work hard, and we're going to be difficult to replace.
Yep, that's the patient.
My next stop was Patrick Cody, the coordinator of British Columbia's internationally trained professionals. Patrick is an advocate of the International Medical Doctors, or IMDs. I wanted to know why our healthcare system is in such a bad state and how IMDs could help.
This is what we produced for MLAs in BC.
Right.
About 15 or 20 years ago, there was a consultant that was hired to do an analysis of how many doctors were needed. And I don't know how this person or this group ever came up with the idea that we had an oversupply, but this was a national paper that was released that indicated that we had an oversupply and that we didn't need to train as many doctors, and we didn't need to integrate as many internationally trained medical doctors in the future. This was exactly incorrect and wrong because, of course, the baby boomers are now retiring, and we're finding ourselves in a crunch in every profession in the health field. We've got a very large number of family physicians that are no longer accepting patients. There are some doctors in the rural area that are just about to retire. There's no one to take over their practice. You've got huge numbers of Canadians that don't even have access to a doctor. It's unfortunate because we did have one of the best healthcare systems in the world. We're now well behind a lot of European countries, and as a result, the public is suffering. The doctor shortage in Canada is critical. If you were to talk to the general public, they'll tell you. You talk to people and they have friends and family that have been dramatically adversely affected or that have died waiting for access.
Meet Maureen. She has been trying desperately to see a specialist regarding her deteriorating condition. With each passing day, she loses mobility due in part to a cyst growing in her spine. Desperate for help, she has camped out in emergency rooms to see an appropriate doctor.
My current situation is I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic incomplete, which means I have movement below the level of injury, which was at my neck about here at the back. I was very, very active in sports, just did everything to the utmost. I did skydiving and bungee jumping and skiing and was a different life than this. I find it embarrassing the way I move. The delay in seeing the neurosurgeon is affecting my quality of life enormously because I am deteriorating pretty well daily. I have 5 stairs to go down to get out to my car. Yesterday I fell just going down the stairs. I haven't been able to get up the stairs myself for several weeks. I'm in a great deal of pain. My quality of life is enormously affected. Personally, I think it's outrageous that I should get to this condition where I'm no longer even independent, simply because I can't get to see the doctor that I need to see. I never thought for a minute that you could have a situation such as mine, that they can stop me from getting worse, that they can't bring me back to where I was even 2 months ago. That's an emergency, and I'm not at all being looked after.
So, do you think the system has failed you?
There is no system there for me. I've just been pushed to the edge, and it's something for me to be able to talk about it without crying, because I'm very frightened, and I do get enormously frustrated.
Maureen's story was scary. In this great country called Canada, how could this happen? Especially when there are so many international doctors who could help. I joined Patrick Cody for a meeting of the Association of International Medical Doctors of BC. I was surprised to see so many physicians with so much expertise looking for jobs.
I've moved from Germany to Canada 6 years ago. I'm an occupational specialist. I'm teaching right now in the Okanagan at the massage therapist school. But I would like to get back into my original subject.
I came from China about 10 years ago, but I'm not sure whether I can be practice Western medicine again in Canada. And I have some friends that have been passed the exam for 3 and 5 years, and they're still waiting for practicum. Yeah.
I came to Canada from Kyrgyzstan. It's a former Soviet Union republic. I came here 2 months ago, and I worked as the sexually transmitted infections doctor.
Two months, you said?
2 months ago, yeah.
Well, welcome to Canada.
My name is Alfredo Tura, and I'm originally from Italy. I emigrated in Canada about 9 years ago. And
although Dr. Alfredo Tora is the president of this association, he